Then we really focus on our mechanics, rule changes, and the goal is to, when we leave here, we're 100% ready, we're buttoned up and ready to start working our fall scrimmages with our teams, and then we're ready to go. First snap, we're in midseason form, full speed. So we're excited, it's time, and we're ready to go. So
you said that the most impactful rule change you see is going to be the targeting. There have been coaches that have been a little critical of how it's going to be enforced. Talk to us about that and how you're kind of trying to talk them off the ledge with their reaction to this rule change.
Well, it is, and I've said that, and I really believe that this is probably the most significant change that we've had in football. I mean, in a way, our game is under attack. The President of the United States said, if I had a son, I'm not sure I'd let him play football. I mean, those are impactful words. And so I think that from a rules perspective, the change this year is to make an impact. And player behavior is modified with playing time. We learned that last year with the helmets coming off. And so, the expectation is the rule itself, the targeting rule, didn't change. I mean, the foul didn't change. Now, we expanded a defenseless player a little bit, but, targeting a defenseless player above the shoulders or using the crown of the helmet is still the foul. But now the impact, the penalty phase of that carries the disqualification, and if it happens in the second half, you're disqualified for that game in the first half of the following game. So I think the intent from the Rules Committee is that that's going to impact player behavior. It'll impact from a coach. I mean, coaches do a great job of teaching, heads up tackling, see what you hit, but now lower your target. And so I think if the coaches do their part, the players then execute that properly, and then when they don't, officials make the call, have the courage to make that call, then I believe it will change and take out some of these dangerous contact fouls. And the great thing about it is now with instant replay, there's a backstop. So if these calls, these are instantaneous, fast acts, and the official has to make a quick judgment decision. Now we have instant replay as the backstop. So if it was an incorrect call, replay can look at it and put that player right back in the game. So I think with all those components in place, it's the right time for this rule change, and I think it'll have an impact on our game, and it won't take away the greatness of it.
What do you say to players? There was a player that went on record yesterday that said, this is rendering us to flag football.
Well, there's no question it is not coming anywhere near flag football. I mean, the example is now a defenseless player is expanded definition to where when you deliver a blindside block, that player you're blocking is defenseless. So what does that mean? Well, that doesn't mean he can't be hit. I mean, you can still, in their vernacular, blow him up, but you just have to stay off his head. And that's what we want. I mean, the concussion component of this, we don't know the long-term effects. There's so many studies going right now. So I think we've got to make an impact. But to the players, here's what I would say also. A few years ago, we were getting a lot of hits on the quarterback's head. And it was almost like you had a 6'6" defensive end coming around the corner to a 6-foot to a 6-foot quarterback, and their natural reaction was, well, I'm 6'6", I'm going to hit him in the head. Well, by continually penalizing that, now we've made an impact. I mean, last year there were less hits on the quarterback's head, and to a fan, that didn't change the game. They didn't see less sacks or less excitement and enthusiasm. So that's what we really need to do to get the players to make the proper technique, lower their target, and they can still make hard contact. So it's just like that. We talked about now a quarterback who throws an interception. As soon as there's a turnover, that quarterback stays a defenseless player throughout that down. But it doesn't mean he can't be touched. He can be blocked hard. You just have to stay off his head. So it'll change their technique, but if they do it properly, it won't change the game at all.